Folks, welcome back. 2022, Rudy, Alpha Investments. How's everybody doing? Today we're going back to, has it really been 5 years? Today we're going back to Battlebond. As we battle your bond, your little partner, friends, hold hands, frolic, exercise. As of the filming of this video, Battlebond is broken $300 of booster box. So if you're not familiar, Battlebond was one of those specialty summer sets similar to the Conspiracy 1. And then they came out with the Battlebond and then kind of the Conspiracy 2 and all that stuff. And it was one of the very... it was successful at the time. A lot of people were very critical, including myself, at release because I just hated the name. I thought Battlebond was just such a blah... It didn't have a good ring to it. Like Conspiracy 1, Conspiracy 2, Take the Crown. Like, Dominaria, Throne of... Like, a lot of the names are really cool. War of the Spark and everything. The Ravnicas, the Guilds, Allegiance, and... But I just remember Battlebond having a funky name. Anyway, I don't want to focus on the name, that's silly. Anyway, so at release, Battlebond, just so everybody knows, was actually, I know, hang on to your top hats, kids. Battlebond was priced as a standard booster box. I sold most 80 to 90% of my supply to patrons by the case for $79.99. There are over 1,000 patrons out there who've made a fortune. I sold, if you want a smaller quantity, I sold 3 packs of Battlebond for $85 shipped. And it feels like an eternity ago. Unfortunately, Battlebond, I didn't really have a second wave restock or anything like that. It was similar to Time Spiral Remastered. Why Wizards makes certain decisions or does those things, and I don't know. I just don't know. I remember people wanting a lot more Battlebond right after the initial wave. Prices on the open market were selling for about $99 a box. And they were pretty stable. Mass box openers were opening that product. I remember stores doing that. And I remember very clearly, people were making good money. Expected value was over 100 at release. And expected value of Battlebond held, I don't even know if it ever went below $100 a box. And the moral of the story wasn't really that Battlebond was a historical, amazing product. But Battlebond was priced at a level that made it incredibly attractive. And we've talked about this with the whole, double feature Innistrad. Friendly reminder, some of your Innistrad double feature booster boxes, I'm paying $140 in your shipping. And please contact me, send me a nice PP, pictures and prices, no giggities. And please let me buy yours. And anyways, but back to the video. But, it's not about whether or not Wizards makes a good or bad product. It's about where they slide the scale for price point that makes the market either accept or reject it many times. And Battlebond, from day one, was a successful product. Similar to Time Spiral Remastered. When Time Spiral Remastered came out, oh my god, I feel like yesterday. It came out, here's one wave, it just disappeared. And Papa Bezos got the other 100 bazillion pallets, and that was it. And for some reason, just the way it was. I have no idea why that is. And you compare that to Modern Horizons 1 or 2, or you compare that to Commander Legends or Jumpstart, I don't know why they just don't. And Time Spiral Remastered was a normal shaped box. I don't know. Anyway, so when we look back at Battlebond, here we are in 2022, February 1st, 2022. And I don't even know if you can get it for under 300 shipped out the door. eBay TCG players averaging about 300 plus shipping and taxes, so you're probably about 320 out the door. Now here's the kicker that I wanted to give you all my perspective, because I get questions like this after I make a market update video all the time, and it's always, A, Rudy, can I buy into it at 300, or is the easy money been made? It's already over with. I can't, B, Rudy, do you think it's going to crash back down? Can I wait for the dip, buy the dip? Or Rudy, do you think it's overpriced? Is it bubble? It's the same concept every time we talk about any random product. And I try to cover as many different magic sets as possible. And I'm going to be very blunt with you all. I see a situation where the cards within the product Battlebond has an expected value. TCG market of almost 290. TCG mid of over 300, like 308 or something. In the sealed box that's already aging and aging is still literally equal to the cards of the value of the box. As we've talked about on this channel, the older the booster box gets, the price of the sealed versus the price of the cards in the box diverge. And that spread becomes larger and larger, kind of like a company with earnings per share type of thing. It's always been that way. It always will be that way. And I'm sitting here telling me that, okay, as Battlebond, is Battlebond exactly 5 years old now? Or 4.5 years old? As Battlebond gets older and older, You can't have a 7-8-year-old product that sells for $500 a box, and the cards in the box are $500. So if you get a good box, you get $700-800 worth of cards, and a bad box you get $200. The cards in the box, as the product gets older, cannot and should not maintain the price of the sealed product. Okay? This was something that I discovered many, many years ago when I started buying Weatherlight boxes. I was buying them for between $200 and $300 a box, on average $240, $250 a box, and the expected value of a Weatherlight box was around $200. And I never understood that. How could and this is when I was buying them in like 2011, 2013, 2014. And I remember thinking, why is this box $200 when the cards in the box are $150, $180, depending on when you checked it and what the hot set was moving the price. How can a product be 20 years old and I just didn't understand it. And again, eventually the market does self-correct. So to go back to the Battlebond situation, one of two things are going to occur. Well, unless we have a massive end of the world type collapse and we use cardboard for toilet paper and paper airplanes, chances are I still believe Battlebond is a $500 box. I said it before, I'm going to say it again, just like Dominaria's Dominatrix dominating your ex. Certain products are just $500 boxes. I remember talking about Scars and Mirrodin Besieged. I remember talking about a lot of these older sets. I remember talking about original OG Innistrad with Lily and Snappy. When those boxes were $199 a box, I said these are $500 boxes. When this channel started in 2016, I told everybody Scars and Mirrodin, Innistrad, Besieged, Avacyn Restored, all these boxes that were around $100 to $150 a box are going to be $500 a box. Now, it turns out all of those boxes are now approaching $1,000 a box. Kind of funny, but life works in humbling, strange ways. So, to answer your question, even if somebody were to start out buying Battlebond today, let's say you get lucky and you can get it for $300 flat, no shipping, no taxes out the door, on your doorstep. $300 a box for Battlebond is still a good entry point. It is what it is. How much does Rudy have? Well, Rudy sold his originally 3,000 boxes to patrons for about $80. I kept the last 600-700 boxes. The 600 or 700 boxes that came like a week later. I kept and ran a second sale to patrons 2 years ago for $189 a box. And now I'm down to the last. I kept the last 10 cases for future box openings. So I kept some for myself and everything, but that's where it is. That's for my personal inventory on the product. Now, if you bought today at $300, you're telling me in 3 to 5 years from now, that box isn't going to be $5-600 a box? Essentially, the numbers are bigger. Some people call it the Amazon theory or the Google theory. Actually, isn't Google splitting their stock? Somebody told me that the other day. It doesn't make it. The big numbers scare the amateurs and the Timmies. A large number makes people nervous. They think, well, God, at $300, easy money's been made. Well, it could be, because technically, if you bought in at 80 and you're at 300, I mean, you went from 80 to 160 to 240 to 320. That's like a 4x. I mean, I get it. Do I think you can 4x again? 4xing again would be from 300 to 600 to 900 to 1200 type approach, using non-compounding and all that stuff and non-inflation adjusted. Do I think Battlebond could get to break $1,000 a box? Yeah, I do. And I know that's a hot take and really, Rudy's pumping and dumping. Here he goes. Get your stepsisters, get him out of the laundry room. I hear you, but in a long enough time scale, most of these things are going to happen. And I do think Battlebond is a $500 box. I think eventually it's going to be bouncing between $5, $550, maybe $540s, $499, $599. But the problem is when we start hitting those levels, the amount left in the world and on the open market is going to be so low, it becomes like an original Innistrad or an original Mirrodin where you type in the names of some of these boxes and there's just like 5 boxes for sale. So you start to see larger variances and spreads on pricing. So, conclusion of it, I see a product that's very good. It's very unique. You have the cards within the product that just are pulling the price up accelerating rate. Even at today's price, no, I don't think it's a bubble. I don't think it's a ripoff. No, I'm not buying any of that particular products. I'm focusing on a lot of other, garbage products of today's day and age that are all fire sale and garbage and collector boxes are worthless. I'm focusing on that right now. But yes, these type of products, to answer a lot of people's questions, there is still opportunity in it. Again, If you don't believe me, you can always speak to a licensed advisor, not a cat in the basement. But at the end of the day, in the long game, everything tends to drift in a certain direction, even if it's just carried by inflation, even if it's just carried by your stepsister.